Before I start the episode, I just wanted to touch on a few little things for you, information you may or may not already know. Gould and Curry, when they started up and had everything built, needed to build a residence for the superintendent, which they did, and it was also the office. So that is what is now known as the Mackey Mansion, and it was called the Mackey Mansion by the people who purchased it in the 1950s. Up until that time, it was always known as the Gould and Curry Mining Company's office. When Mackey was in Virginia City, he didn't even stay at the Gould and Curry superintendent's home. He had a suite full of rooms in the International Hotel, and that's where he stayed. His wife hated Virginia City. She may have visited once or twice, but so far as I can ascertain, she never even lived in the house. She would stay at the International with him, and most of the time she lived in either New York, London, San Francisco or Paris. The Mackey Mansion was right next door basically to the Gould and Curry Mining Company. In fact, it's the Gould and Curry Mining Company that paid for and owned for the longest time that building, which is now referred to as the Mackey Mansion. Alright, so what I normally do is just introduce myself, because right now we're sitting in the hallway of someone's house. Oh, am I recording? Yep, that's okay. Because right now we're sitting in the middle of someone's house, and so I guess if this was my house, I'd think, who's that? So I normally would go around and introduce ourselves and say what our names are, and then I explain what we're doing there, yeah, and we'll see what we can get. Hi, I just wanted to say hello. I'm staying here tonight and I hope you don't mind. I won't make too much noise. I won't make any mess. My name is Karen and these are my friends. Now you introduce yourself and tell them your name.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Aileen and I would like to thank you for even letting us be in your home. I know this is your private home and your private space, and I appreciate and love the history of this town, and can definitely appreciate it here for living here and growing up myself as a kid, and all the memories I've made with my little brother, and so I want to thank you and yes, for inviting us, for letting us be in here as well, along with my son.
And now you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dasan, and thank you for letting us, all three of us, stay here.
There you go, see? Good manners. Now, we've got some things here called a dowsing rod, and you've probably seen them before, especially maybe if you're a miner or something like that, but we can hopefully use these to communicate with you. So maybe what we'll do is ask you to cross them if the answer to our question is yes, and to separate them if the answer is no. And should you want to point in the direction of anything, point them in that direction. Okay, are we ready to ask some questions? They've got to be yes or no questions. So cross for yes, apart for no. Thank you.
Is this your home? Did you grow up here?
Did you work here in the Mackey Mansion?
pretty sure that was a dog.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a yes. You worked here in the Mackey mansion. Did you know, can you separate them now for me? And we'll start with a new question. I'm getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Did you know Mrs. Mackey? Did you know Mr. Mackey? Take that as a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Can you tell me if you are a female? Are you a woman? Thank you. If you can separate those now, I can ask you another question. Did you pass away in this house? So that's a yes. It's a big yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We are told stories that there is a little girl that lives in this house. I'm not sure who that little girl would be, but are you a little girl? What do you think? That looks like a
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, the story is that it's a little girl called Emma, but I'm told that little Emma didn't die here in Virginia City, that she died somewhere far away. So I have a box, a contraption, if you will, on a stick over there, and you'll see it's got our picture on it. You can go near that and you can whisper into that. You can say your name into that little machine, and we'll be very quiet. And I might not be able to hear you say it, but that little box there will hear your voice, and I will listen later and see what you told us. So I'll be very quiet now. If you could please tell us your name. Car tooting outside. Well, thank you, whoever you are. Can you tell me, round, it's just only because you moved. You can straighten it up if you like yourself, yeah. That's it. Whoop. Whoop. We'll just wait till they steady themselves a little bit. Okay. Can you tell me, are you alone here? Or is there another spirit? If there's another spirit, oh, okay. I might have asked the question wrong. I didn't exactly give you the answer,
Yes,
did I?
no, yeah.
Sorry. Wait till they come apart again. Thank you. I'll ask that question again, that it's easier for you to answer. Are there some other spirits here with you? Ooh. Okay, thank you. Can you separate those now? Thank you. Can you tell me, the spirits that are here, could it be the men who passed away, died, that were shot downstairs? Is it those souls that are here? The men who died? Thank you. Can I ask, the men who died, were they guards? Thank you. You can separate those now. Are you able to use the dowsing rods to point to where you might be at the moment? Where are you? Can you use them to point towards where you are? Can you see us? Can you see how many of us are here? You can separate the rods now. Thank you. All right, we'll end that for a second. I'm just wondering, I've got the movement sensor in that room.
Yeah.
We've got this here. That is supposed to light up to red or different colours. Sometimes there's something I want to try downstairs with this later, because when I was here a year ago, this went crazy in one particular room, the downstairs. But now I think that might have something to do with the fact that I now know that people live directly below that room, and it might have been picking up on electrical current from their lights or something like that. But so okay. To the little girl, if that is who you are, that is here, would you be able to touch this little box on the floor? It has a green light right now, but if you touch it, it can light to yellow and red. It's very pretty. It would be helpful to me if you could touch it, because it would tell me that you may well be here. Can you touch the little box? If it's not a little girl that's here, whoever you are you able to touch this box, or even the small teddy bear that's leaning up against the stick in the hallway? We would really love to know if you're here. If we could have some indication that you're here, we would happily leave and go downstairs and leave you alone. That was my stomach. Still my stomach. How do you feel up here? I kind of don't really feel anything except, I mean, it's relaxing up here, but I don't feel...
Yeah. No, I feel...
Maybe it's not time. Maybe it's still too early.
Maybe. But I don't know, I feel more...
Down that way?
Something down there, just a heavier feeling. I don't know what it is. I don't know singularly person-wise, but I just feel energy is a little different down there. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. Did you like growing up here? Did you like the school? Was it loud? I'm asking a lot of questions.
But they can answer.
Yeah. It's very quiet now. Very different from what it was like then. Stamp mills, the mines were working 24 hours.
Like
Very loud.
even now, being nighttime and everyone wants to sleep, exactly the mines were boom, boom, boom. It would have been really loud.
Yeah.
It must have been very hard for you to sleep sometimes with the noise, but then they may have grown used to it.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Very well.
I know that the room in front of us was once Mrs. Mackey's, but I also know that Mrs. Mackey left and went to live in France. Can you tell me if This is, I believe his name was John, would sometimes stay in this room and look after it when Mr. Mackey was away. Is John here? Or Jim? I think your name is Jim. I've got it. It's Jim, not John. I beg your pardon. To whoever is here with us, we would truly like it if you could show us that you're here in some way. You could do it by a loud knock, a very loud knock, or you can touch one of the things that we have here on the floor with the lights, or my little teddy bear. The little teddy bear, if you touch it, should light up and let us know you're here. And there's also a silly little thing in the little bedroom here that makes noise if you go near it. I think you've heard that a few times. But if you could do anything, that would be marvellous. We'd really like to know you're here. If you do anything for us, can you make it very loud? What is that? No. Was that you making that noise?
Are you hungry?
Are you hungry? It sounded like a tummy rumble. Okay, because that could be somebody flushing a toilet or it could be water in the pipes. Could you do, I think if you could for us, maybe touch one of the things we have on the floor. I think that would be easy because you just have to walk past it, I think. I'm not really sure, they're just toys, so apologies, but they do sometimes light up. But I think for us, we'd like a loud bang, something to make us jump, and you can laugh at us jumping. I don't believe, whoever you are, I don't believe that you're nasty or mean. And I do apologise for the people that do come into your home and do make up those stories. I'm sorry that they do that. It's very disrespectful to your memory. But I would love to know who you are, that's all. We all know so much of the history of the Mackey Mansion and Virginia City. It would be wonderful to know who you are and maybe see if we can help you not have to be here anymore, unless that's what you really want. Then again, I don't know how I'd help them not be here anymore, except to say I'm sure it's much nicer somewhere else.
Yeah. Or at least pass along real history, real information, real things that happen in your life, and try and stop the fake, the not real stories that people pass along.
If you are going to move anything for us or make a loud noise, you need to make it loud and distinct so we know it's you and it's not just the house moving or a critter or doves in the roof. I'm sure there's probably pigeons in the roof because there's lots of pigeons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I come here in the mornings and feed the chickens with Connie. I'm only visiting from Australia, but I've been here once before. But I go every morning, and the deer, sometimes they'll take food from me. And the little kittens, there's little pussycats. So I do know what's around your house. Thank you for letting us talk to you. I'll be back later. Maybe by then you might like to have a chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
So here I go. So this is apparently, so the story goes, somebody, probably a lady who worked here, came down these stairs and unfortunately tripped, which, to be quite honest, I can understand how that happened because these steps are very steep. And apparently she fell down here and her life was ended. So that's the story there. But let's go upstairs. That's where I want to go and sit for a little while, take it all in, see if anybody wants to talk to us, and let's see what happens. Ooh, it's cold up here. So this is Mr. Mackey's room. So how about we sit in here for a moment. Now the stories in Mr. Mackey's room are just people see shadow figures. So I guess that's what we'll do. And I'll also put the EMF on the bed and I'll see if anything happens with that. So there it is. Walking up those stairs is hard work, people. Hello again. My name's Karen. I'm here for a reason. I have a son. His name is Stephen. He died suddenly. He was on his way to visit somebody. He was distracted. It was a raining night, very rainy, windy. He shouldn't have been out in that weather, but he was. And I know you probably don't know what a truck is, but let's call it a locomotive. He was in his vehicle when a big vehicle, much bigger than his, came in the opposite direction. I don't know if he swerved, if he went to the wrong side of the road. But anyway, he was hit. They tell me that his death would have been quick. I hope it was. I miss him very much. And I know that he went somewhere. I just don't know where. And I'm told that spirits walk around in this house. I'm told spirits are seen. And I wish it was true, but I'm not sure it is. I wish you could tell me that you were really here, and that would give me hope to know that maybe my son Stephen, maybe he can see me sometimes when he needs to, and then maybe I'd know that even though he's not here anymore with me, he's still here. Do you think you can help me? If you're here, I put that little box on the end of the bed. It has a little green light on it. You can touch that, and if you do touch it, it lights up. I'm sure there's been many disrespectful people in this home that have talked to you before. You must get tired of it. But if you can touch that, it would be something. Is there anything at all that you can do to show me that you're here? Oh, that's right. I put a little noise box in what they call Peter's room. It lights up with little blue lights and makes a funny noise. If you're here, you can always make a noise. Does it take much energy to talk to me? Is it hard? I can come into Mrs. Mackey's room for a moment if you would like. I know it wasn't really Mrs. Mackey's room for long, but I'm happy to. How about I do that? Here I come. I'll bring my little box. And for anybody watching, this is the little gentleman who used to sit down in the vault. He played the part of the guard. He has many friends around town. In particular, one sits in the Bonanza, which unfortunately is now closed, but oh well. So this was to be Mrs. Mackey's room, but Mrs. Mackey didn't stay here very long. Unfortunately, she didn't like Virginia City much, so she went to live in Paris, I believe. For purposes, there's a bit of dust flying around at the moment because I just brushed against something, so it is not an orb. But anyway, so I'll pop this here. I'll just put that there, guys, so if it goes off or does anything, I'll let you know. I'm not sure what the view from here is. Oh, that's an interesting thing. See, all the rooms have a fireplace. There's this room and the room next to it. They've got a fireplace and it sort of joins downstairs, like it's the chimney is in the middle of the house. They've still got Halloween stuff around. I thought, oh, that's a big spider, but they're kind of glittery. And there's one on the curtain. Let's have a look out here and see what we can see. Oh, gosh, what did I bump? Sorry. Oh, interesting. That's the house next door. So now I'm orientated. So yes, I'm not quite sure what it is. I will have a look tomorrow, but there's something outside here. Oh, it's probably these shutters that bang in the night. Sometimes people say that they hear a loud banging. Well, as you can see there, those shutters, if they get caught in the wind, and you can see they're not properly shut, they can make a loud bang. I hope you can see that somehow. And that's the famous bathroom, which I'll show you soon. We'll go out that way, actually. They've got this locked, so I can't walk out. I'll check out the telephone, peeps. That's pretty good. Oh, and just as a matter of interest, you can see this here. This is a little jug and a wash basin with a mirror. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because once upon a time, back in the day, before they had bathtubs in every room and etc., that's what they used. And they would have what was known as a chamber pot. I don't know if there's a chamber pot in here. Let me have a look. No, there's no chamber pot. But they would have a chamber pot. So there was no toilets, obviously. There was a chamber pot which would go under the bed. So if in the middle of the evening, night, when you were sleeping, you wanted to go to the toilet, you would get up, you would use the chamber pot. If you wanted to wash, you would get some warm water, pop it in that jug, pop it in the basin, and have a wash. Anyway, end of history lesson. Oh, and the reason I mention that too is because the Silver Queen did not have bathtubs in any of the rooms until the 90s, when the current owner, Connie, her father, installed the bathrooms at the Silver Queen. All right. So I've done a bit of chatting. I'm going to give you the chance again. You heard me talk before. If there's anyone here, can you do one thing for me? And that is, you can touch this box. And if you touch this box, it will light up. And I'll know that you might be here. Can you do that for me? Okay, I guess you don't want to. That's okay. You must get sick of people coming here all the time. All right, might as well now go to the little girl's room. Now, you've all heard the story before about little Emma. So little Emma is supposed to live in this room. There's some rather revolting dolls in here. I mean, this one should just be chucked down. This one's interesting though. That could be quite old. There's quite a few dolls in here, like that one's interesting. There's a few interesting antique dolls in here, but there's also a few dolls that are sort of, not so interesting. I love these little dresses, aren't they cute? I'm just going to pop this down here on the bed. Hello. I'm not sure if this is truthfully anybody's room with the name of Emma. That is the story. That is what we're told. However, I do happen to know the owner of the home, Brian. And Brian tells me that little Emma did not die here, that she died long before her mother lived here in the mansion. So I was just wondering who it might be that's here. Would you like to talk to me and tell me your name? Can you touch the little box on the bed? I've just placed it on the dress. If you wanted to, you can touch that. And it might light up for me and it would tell me that you were here. That's me breathing, guys. I honestly don't feel anything here at the moment, everybody, but it is early in the night. Well, it's not. It's almost midnight, but, the night is young, so they say. And I don't muck around. Whoever's here knows I'm here. Isn't that beautiful? How pretty is that? Oh, now I'm just about to set off this light thing, guys, so don't get a fright. There we go, we'll turn that off for a minute, but I'll put that there. Hello, my name's Karen. I've been here before. I came here once before with my friend Cassie and her husband Ron and another friend of mine called Jason. I don't know if you remember me. But I'm staying here in town with Connie and Brian. And Brian owns this house. He's looking after it the best he can. This little box I'm holding with the light on it, if you want to talk to me, it can hear your voice. So you could talk to me if you like. I might not be able to actually hear you, but this little camera I'm holding in my hand can. Is there anything you can do to let me know you're here? Can you touch that little box with the lights and light it up? That would be wonderful. Oh, can you do it again? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. If that was you, I can pop it on the bed. That might be easier for you to touch, maybe. There you go. Would you like to light that up for me? It would show me that you're here. I guess that's all I really want to know. I just want to know if you're here. If it's true that when we pass away, we can choose to stay wherever it is we go, or we can choose to sometimes come back and visit where we once loved to be. Is that what you're doing? Or are one of the things in this room, did they once belong to you and you still love them and come to look at it? Well, I guess I can come up here again a bit later if you like. Thank you. Oh, I'll take this with me, guys. Oh, here's the wicked steps, guys. Ugh. I guess I could sit here for a minute. So, as I was telling you earlier, the story of the staircase is sad if it's true. So, a lady, apparently a female, fell down the stairs to her death. And I'm assuming that means she died here at the bottom of the stairs. I don't know what her name was. I've not been able to research any information on it. So it could be true. And if it's true, I would hope that she does not still haunt these halls. But should she, I can ask her to please do something to show me that she's here. Make a loud noise. Make the lights on my little box down there light up. Whatever you like. You can talk to me as well. I might be able to hear you. Well, folks, like I said, beautiful house, but very quiet. Might just be too early for the ghosties to come out.
Since the love that you left is all that I get, I want you to know that if I can't be close to you, I'll settle for the ghost of you. I miss you more than life. thinks there's always tomorrow. I need more time, but time can't be borrowed. I'd leave it all behind